What's up, family? Man, listen to this shit here. First of all, I'd like to thank y'all for joining the kid. My name is Bill, aka Breakfast with Bill, aka Wild Bill, aka Kill Bill Volume 16, 17, and 9. Now, listen here. I want to give y'all a brief reenactment of what just happened to the kid uh over the weekend at the flea market. Shit was crazy. Shit was crazy. Um the kid got fleeced by a gypsy live to my face, right in broad daylight, like right in front of me. I'm like, so here's the scenario. So I go to the flea market 4 seasons. I go to the flea market 4 seasons. I got two objectives. Two. I'm there to do two things. First thing I'm there to do is take the puppies for a stroll down and up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple of laps, let them grab some treats off the ground, whatever. Socialize them. I'm there to socialize the damn chihuahuas. You know what I'm saying? That's objective one. Bam. Get there. Zip, 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 zip. Everything goes swell. Puppies do great. Everybody loving them. Everything was swell. Awesome. Fantastic. Everything went awesome. So decide to put the babies in the car while we handle the second objective. The second objective is get some fruit. So go there to get the fruit. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice amount of fruit stands, nice amount of um deals and watermelon, seedless, plums, pears, everything. They got everything, and that's all over. Like this is like my favorite thing. Fresh fruit at the market because it's straight from the farmers' neighborhoods, right off the semi truck. Long story short, so so I'm there with my friend, and so we get to the fruit stand. We get to this particular fruit stand, and the fruit stand I get to, they got everything. I see watermelons. I think it's either yellow watermelons. I see seedless. I see seed. So I'm looking at the whole array, and the lady is she offering like deals. She basically saying, you know what I'm saying, she willing and dealing. She talking her shit, you know what I'm saying? She doing her, you know how they be selling you the fruit and they be willing and dealing, talking and shit. Hey, pussy cat, hey, this is as sweet as my tooth, the tutti fruity. She doing all that shit. She talking shit. So I'm just sitting there observing, looking at all the fruit. They got a nice array, everything. So I'm checking it out, and the ladies, I call her gypsy because I don't know what her race was. I would have, if I had to put a finger on it, I would say Romanian or Greek or something Hungarian or something Czechoslovakian kind of, like, I think that's kind of the, I mean, I don't know. That's just what I would get. I would say maybe Russian. Maybe she was Russian. But anyway, so she willing and dealing, she talking shit, and she flirting with my friend. She telling her blah 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 blah. So she throwing around deals. So she said, I throw in 2 watermelons, 2 baskets of strawberries, uh, and I'm throwing a free thing of blueberries. And I think she said something else for $20. So we sitting there, we looking. So uh she's like, yeah, I'll take that. So now let me tell you what I remember vividly about the interaction from that point forward. I'm gonna take a deep breath before I go in this because I want to be as vivid and as descriptive as I possibly can about the whole interaction, because I got offended multiple times. And then I got money stolen from me, like 3. It was a trifecta. The lady disrespected me, offended me, and stole my money right in my face. And the whole time I'm sitting here like, Like what? Like what the fuck? And I'm talking about. I didn't say a word in this interaction. I really had to catch myself and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is you saying just happened right now? So listen, this is how it went. So my friend said, boom, I'll take the deal. This her words verbatim. She was saying such. She's cute, and then she said, I didn't like you anyway. She said that to me. I didn't say one word, and I'm figuring this is the first little strike. She said, I didn't like you anyway. So I'm figuring she doing her little will and deal. This is part of her little spill. She, you know what I'm saying? So whatever. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? She doing her thing, her 1, 2, whatever. So so as I'm gathering up what we getting, like it's like a watermelon, it's a watermelon, 2 strawberries, and a blueberry. So now as we and so I hands her the $20, and she says verbatim, "Thanks, my boy." Hands her the $20. She says, "Thanks, my boy." Takes the money, start doing what she doing. So right at that point when she said that, I wasn't necessarily offended. I didn't like being called boy. I mean, for the most part, a lot of us black men don't really take exception to being called boy. So when she said it, I took it like a grain of salt. Like, she selling fruit, she doing her 1, 2 spill, blah, 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 whatever. I ain't gonna make a political. I ain't gonna have a. I ain't like I. I'm not like. I'm just trying to buy some fruit. Oh yeah. So listen, if I had to cut this short, if I had to cut this story short, y'all can catch the full. Y'all can catch the full layout on my YouTube channel, Breakfast with Bill. But back to the story. So she says, "Thanks, my boy," and I'm gathering the fruit. So as that happened, I'm kind of just like, okay, let me just get the fruit. So now my friend trying to spend another 20. So she like, okay, like what other deal can I get? Blah blah blah. So now she throwing together shit. She talking about peaches and shit, what she could throw together. She willing to do it. And then she started talking about sweet peas. She talking about throwing sweet peas in there. And the whole purpose was there. The whole purpose we was there for was to get the fruit. What's happening, Anthony? So I wasn't focused on those sweet peas. I wasn't interested in them. I said I don't know how to make them, and she was just telling me, okay, yeah, you just get some oil, you just get some salt, and blah blah blah, and they good, blah blah blah. So she throwing in the whole deal plus the sweet peas and shit. So old girl like, fuck it, we'll take it. So I'm like, cool. So I hand her the 20, and I'm gathering up the shit. And she says, "Where's the other 20?" I said, "What you mean the other 20?" I said, "I just handed you $40. We getting $40 worth of shit. We just got 2 deals." She said, "You didn't hand me $20." I said, "Who?" She said, I said, "I handed you $20. And your response to me was, 'Thanks, my boy.'" I said, "If I didn't hand you $20, then why did you say that to me?" She was like, "You didn't hand me $20." I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, you know what? So now her people, her managers, bosses, or whatever, they looking over. I ain't really trying to create a scene. It really ain't that big of a deal. It's only $20. But it's the principles. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, and so I took a deep breath, processed the situation, and I'm like, uh that's poor. That's poor business. Like, I handed you $20. You supposed to hand me or return me $20 worth of product. Um, and when I talked to somebody else about it, matter of fact, I see my cousin right up the way. He said, if she did that to you, she probably do that all day long. I'm sure she does. But my thing was, I took a deep breath, assessed the situation. I'm like, I ain't about to argue or go back and forth. I told her, you got it. You obviously, you know what I'm saying. That's how you move. You obviously had to, you needed that more than I did. But that shit was wow. So I'm like, damn, so when it happened, I kind of just took it like a grain of salt. But to think about it later, after the fact, it was like, wow. I mean, I try not to what I'm saying, take little interactions like that personal when somebody trespass against you or deceive you or rob you or colonize you right directly to your face. Um, but I think I may be more offended at the fact that she would think that a person like me would take my hard-earned money and hand it to her and think that her shucking and jiving and talking and wheeling and dealing was enough to distract me to think that uh I don't know what's going on and I just decided to I don't know what because I can assure you I ain't the first person, I ain't the last person that she would do like that. Um it was wild. It was wild. I'm just wondering how y'all would process that. Like how would you if you had been in a situation like that, how would you have handled it? Or how would you have snatched the fruit? Would you have called the head security folks? Would you have I don't know. It was like I really took it as like, okay, um, I'm trying to be a vendor. Um, if a person uh feels the need to, want to be deceitful and have to do some shit like that, then they taking chances. They need it. But I really, for the most part, I would say after breathing and thinking and meditating and really analyzing the situation and looking back on right, wrong, karma, retribution, ins and outs. Um, I think karma. I think in that instance, karma. You supposed to. You supposed to. No, here's the saying. Here's the saying. Here's the saying. Like the saying that I like to live with. The um the person that smiles at the thief as they're leaving steals something from the thief. Meaning, if a person comes in and blatantly is trying to steal from you or take something from you, now granted, your first normal, rational African American, uh, just rational minded male would be to protect your belongings at all costs. You know what I'm saying? You have a right to protect your house, home, your person, your belongings, your money. If somebody comes stealing your car, you have the right to tear their ass up. But um, looking at stuff from a different perspective when it comes to money and when it comes to greed and people's mind states and people that think they're getting over and times that you allow the scenarios to unfold like that to just see what the frequency is or what the lesson is from a scenario like that. um I don't know, that was I gotta get that some more thought because it's because no matter whether it's $1,000 or whether it's five, when somebody take something from you, or when somebody trespass against you, you feel violated, but um how you feel, your emotions, and how you choose to process that, those are all, I think, choices. Um yeah, because reacting violently or putting yourself into a permanent situation because of of temporary emotions or scenario, um I think it's wise to look at the bigger picture, or be able to access your higher self in those moments, because um when you know what you know, and you recognize that, okay, this motherfucker trying to play me right directly to my face in broad daylight, walked up into a motherfucking face and blew his brains out in broad daylight, booyah. And I'm like, ain't nothing new under the sun. The term gypsy or gyp. Remember we was young, used to go to the store, and if when you was a kid, and the Arabs, if they tried to dog you on your money, we would say you got gypped, or you got hit with a gypsy. Gypsies are motherfuckers, that nomads, people that don't have a land. They move around. They wherever they lay their tent is their home. Um, I felt, well, I don't want to speak about how I felt. What happened was I got colonized. So, um, moving forward, I won't ever be buying no fruit from there. I may buy from fruit from every. You know what? The goal is for us to have our own fruit and not have to deal with gypsies or colonizers or fly by nights or people that don't have a spirit of, I would say, a spirit of righteousness, because thieving, snaking, stealing, double talking, swindling, getting over, um that'll never change. That'll never change. And one thing about crooked business, and one thing about uh disproportionate market values, meaning somebody giving 10, but you giving them 3.5 worth. um One thing about the marketplace, and let me show y'all something. Let me see. How can I show y'all this? Damn. Hmm. Wonder if I can post this picture. Okay, so I'm gonna just have to post it in the comments. But I want to show y'all something. I want to show the congregation something that um is online now. Let me see if I can. No, I can't do it. I'll just post it. I'll just post it in the comments somewhere. But you know it's online right now. I don't know if I haven't seen no announcements about it. I haven't heard nobody talk about it. But the United Nations, BRICS, they got a currency that I believe it's online. I don't know if you know what the significance of what that means to money, or or inflation, or the future of the dollar value. But not only has the dollar value been plummeting, meaning food, meaning value going up and quantity of what you buy going down, but um the absolute value of a dollar um is about to be, man, I don't know the exact numbers what it's about to drop down to, because it's going to take a while for a lot of people to in America to recognize and realize the sinking ship that the dollar is, or if you have money sitting around in the dollar. I think that bricks dollar, or that bricks currency went online. I want to say last week. I don't know the exact date, but for the most part, Crypto has shot up. Every cryptocurrency has shot up. Bitcoin being the main one. And when that happening, I mean, when that begins to happen, plus you got to put your money in gold and silver at least to retain or grow some of the value. Otherwise, if your money is sitting around in a dollar, sitting around in the US dollar, your shit about to be worth like 65 cents per dollar. Um so I don't know. I'm just looking at the state of money, currency, barter and trade, and doing good business is so much more valuable than getting over on a customer one time. Cause um one thing that people moving forward in this era, in this Trump situation that we got going on, um you're gonna need relationships. You're gonna need people who can grow shit. You're gonna need to practice to have good business ethics, because that's gonna be the new currency. It ain't gonna be about what you got or can you sell it or how much. It's gonna be about, if we don't fuck with you, then you ass out. Ain't no sense even bringing your shit to the marketplace. But I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna post that currency because I don't know the full ins and out. I still got to read up on it, but this is just little things that's dropping on the radar that if you paying attention, you can build boats out of this information and float when this tidal wave comes, because the tidal wave is on its way. Between the natural disasters, the what's that, the National Guard being in the city, slowing everything down. It's time to get your trust funds made. It's time to get your finances in order so that you can function and breathe as this whole country is shaking up. Because one thing about being indigenous or original to the land is you have a stake, you have a claim to the land, but if you don't put it on paper, or if you don't stand up and exercise this shit, then they're gonna take your land, your rights, your stuff, and run around with it. So I don't know, I just wanted to make that video just to um open the conversation of business, commerce, good business, growing our own food, um, group economics, um, um, and folks, and dealing and coexisting with folks that don't know what right look like or feel like. Can we coexist with colonizers or people that don't have the right spirit or don't have the right understanding of how humanity is supposed to move forward? I mean, I know it was a small interaction, but I'm my one of my focuses is is keeping the big perspective, um keeping a big perspective as the foundation to spark conversations, or spark ideas, because small ideas or small little situations like that can um be fruitful in other ways than the value of $20. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much all I have to say about that.